Join me as I dive deep into the battle between ARM and Intel, and see if I can uncover the truth about Snapdragon X Elite CPUs in 2024. When it comes to the world of processors, there are two giants that dominate the landscape, ARM and Intel. For years, these two companies have been locked in an intense battle for supremacy, each trying to outdo the other in terms of power, efficiency, and performance. And at the heart of this battle is the Snapdragon X Elite CPU, the latest offering from ARM that's been making waves in the tech community. But what's all the fuss about? Why are these CPUs so important, and what can we expect from them in the future? Over the next few minutes, we're going to dive deep into the world of ARM and Intel, comparing their architectures, benchmarking their performance, and discussing the implications of their ongoing battle for supremacy. So, buckle up and let's get started. From a high-level perspective, the Snapdragon X Elite CPU represents a significant shift in the way that ARM designs its processors. By incorporating cutting-edge technology and innovative design principles, ARM has been able to create a CPU that's not only more powerful but also more efficient than its predecessors. And as we'll see later on, this has major implications for the future of computing as a whole. Moving on, let's talk about the architecture of ARM and Intel CPUs. ARM-based CPUs, like the Snapdragon X Elite, utilize a reduced instruction set computing, RISC, architecture. This approach focuses on executing a smaller number of instructions more efficiently, resulting in better performance and reduced power consumption. In contrast, Intel CPUs use a complex instruction set computing (CISC) architecture, which packs more instructions into each clock cycle. While this approach can provide higher performance in certain scenarios, it often comes at the cost of increased power consumption and heat generation. One of the key strengths of ARM-based CPUs is their ability to provide high performance while remaining energy efficient. This is particularly important in mobile devices, where battery life is a top priority. Intel CPUs, on the other hand, have traditionally excelled in high-performance applications like gaming and video editing. However, their power-hungry nature has limited their adoption in mobile devices. Another significant difference between ARM and Intel lies in their manufacturing processes. ARM designs its CPUs but doesn't manufacture them, instead licensing its designs to other companies like Qualcomm, Apple, and Samsung. Intel, on the other hand, not only designs its CPUs but also manufactures them in-house. This has allowed Intel to maintain tighter control over its production process and has given it a significant advantage in terms of scalability and yield. When it comes to performance benchmarks, the Snapdragon X Elite CPU is a beast. With its advanced Adreno graphics processing unit and Creo CPU cores, this CPU is capable of delivering blistering performance in even the most demanding applications. But how does it compare to Intel's latest offerings? In terms of raw processing power, the Snapdragon X Elite CPU is still slightly behind Intel's Core i9 CPUs. However, its superior power management and thermal efficiency make it an attractive option for mobile devices. In graphics-intensive applications, the Adreno GPU in the Snapdragon X Elite is more than a match for Intel's Iris Xe GPU. And when it comes to artificial intelligence and machine learning tasks, the Snapdragon X Elite's dedicated AI engine gives it a significant edge. But what about real-world performance? How do these CPUs perform when it comes to actual tasks like gaming, video editing, and productivity? In gaming, the Snapdragon X Elite CPU is capable of delivering smooth performance in even the most demanding titles. Its Adreno GPU is highly optimized for mobile gaming, and its advanced thermal management system helps to keep temperatures in check. Intel's Core i9 CPUs, on the other hand, are better suited to high-end gaming on PC, where their raw processing power can be fully utilized. In video editing, the Snapdragon X Elite CPU is a bit of a mixed bag. While its advanced AI engine and Creo CPU cores make quick work of tasks like color correction and video stabilization, its limited memory bandwidth and storage capacity can slow it down when working with large files. Intel's Core i9 CPUs, with their broader range of compatible software and hardware, are generally better suited to high-end video editing. In terms of productivity, the Snapdragon X Elite CPU is highly capable, with advanced features like multi-threading and parallel processing that make it an excellent choice for tasks like data compression and encryption. However, its limited compatibility with certain software and hardware can be a drawback in certain scenarios. Despite their strengths, Snapdragon X Elite CPUs do face some challenges in real-world applications. One of the biggest limitations is compatibility issues with certain software and hardware. Because ARM-based CPUs use a different instruction set than Intel CPUs, they're not always compatible with certain applications and peripherals. Additionally, the Snapdragon X Elite's limited availability and high cost can make it difficult to find compatible devices and accessories. Another challenge faced by Snapdragon X Elite CPUs is performance under load. While they're highly efficient in terms of power consumption, they can still generate a significant amount of heat when pushed to their limits. This can lead to throttling and reduced performance in demanding applications. Now that we've seen the performance benchmarks of the Snapdragon X Elite CPU, let's put it head-to-head against Intel's latest offerings in a series of real-world tests. In our first test, we're going to compare the Snapdragon X Elite CPU to Intel's Core i7 CPU in a series of productivity tasks, including data compression, video encoding, and web browsing. As you can see, the Snapdragon X Elite CPU holds its own against the Core i7 in most of these tasks, with its advanced AI engine and Creo CPU cores providing a significant edge in tasks like data compression and video encoding. However, its limited memory bandwidth and storage capacity do slow it down in tasks like web browsing and file management. In our next test, we're going to compare the Snapdragon X Elite CPU to Intel's Core i9 CPU in a series of gaming benchmarks. Here, the Snapdragon X Elite CPU is able to hold its own against the Core i9 in most of these benchmarks, with its Adreno GPU providing smooth performance in even the most demanding games. However, its limited power management and thermal efficiency do cause it to throttle and reduce performance in extended gaming sessions. In our final test, we're going to compare the Snapdragon X Elite CPU to Intel's Core i5 CPU in a series of everyday tasks, including social media, email, and web browsing. Here, the Snapdragon X Elite CPU is the clear winner, with its advanced AI engine and Creo CPU cores providing a significant edge in terms of performance and power efficiency. So, what are the key takeaways from our comparison of ARM and Intel CPUs? First and foremost, it's clear that the Snapdragon X Elite CPU is a highly capable and efficient processor that's well suited to mobile devices. Its advanced AI engine and Creo CPU cores make it an excellent choice for tasks like gaming, video editing, and productivity. However, it's also clear that Intel CPUs still have a significant advantage in terms of raw processing power and compatibility with certain software and hardware. Ultimately, the choice between ARM and Intel CPUs will depend on your specific needs and requirements. If you're looking for high performance and efficiency in a mobile device, the Snapdragon X Elite CPU is an excellent choice. But if you need raw processing power and compatibility with certain software and hardware, Intel CPUs may be a better option. So, what do you think about the ongoing battle between ARM and Intel? Do you think the Snapdragon X Elite CPU is a game changer, or do you still prefer Intel CPUs? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to check out our next video, where we'll be exploring the latest developments in CPU technology. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.